Greetings and welcome. In showcasing all of my complete sets, I have showcased the 1957, 1958, 1959, and 1971 Topps baseball sets. I have showcased the 1970 Topps football set, along with the 1988 Fleer basketball set, all of which can be found in my playlist under Complete Sets on my channel. Today, I will continue with showcasing my completed sets, and I'll show the 1965 Topps baseball set. It's a pretty straightforward set. The front of the cards is the player's photograph or portrait with a simple frame around it. The lower left corner of each card is the pennant with the player's team, name, and logo on it. And personally, I'm a pretty big fan of the pennants. And the backs contain the usual statistical and biographical information of each player, also a cartoon and blurb at the top. And what's fun about the Clemente is you can see in 1960, Pittsburgh is completely misspelled. And as in previous sets, the league leader subset cards are 1 to 12, and they start off the set. And as a Cardinals fan, I think the World Series Highlights subset, which documented the 1964 World Series between the Cardinals and the Yankees, is one of the best. 598 cards make up the set and were distributed in 7 series. They were sold in 5-cent and 1-cent packs, and it would also be the final year that Topps would sell a 1-cent pack. It would also be the last year a set would feature the Colt 45s and the Milwaukee Braves, and would also be the last playing days card of Warren Spahn, Yogi Berra, and Nellie Fox. But as always, when there's last, there's also firsts. Collectors were introduced to Joe Morgan, Steve Carlton, Jim Catfish Hunter, and Tony Perez. And Tony Perez and Catfish Hunter were both in Series 7, which are high numbers and short prints. And I kind of failed to mention Tony Perez when I actually show Series 7, so I want to clean that up. But it also had first cards of Denny McLain, Luis Tiant, and Bert Campaneris, along with the first Major League Baseball player from Japan, Masanori Murakami. And also, collectors were presented for the first time with the Houston Astros, with the Al Spangler card. Joe Morgan, technically, and Sonny Jackson, is also ahead of Spangler. But if you will see, Morgan's still has the 45s logo on the hat and the Houston pennant. And Spangler's card was the first card that showed the Houston Astros. But this set is considered one of the easier vintage sets to complete, but it's still not necessarily easy to complete because half of the 7th series is short printed. But as always, I will show the cards in each of the series that they were released, and I hope you enjoy. Card number 1 is the 1964 batting leaders with Tony Oliva, Brooks Robinson, and Elston Howard. There's Jim Bunning. Robin Roberts, the Joe Morgan rookie, Bill Verdon, Juan Marichal, Harvey Haddix, Jim Cott, Mike Shannon, Frank Howard, Maz, card 100 would be Ken Boyer, and Series 1 ends with card 109, Walt Bond. And Series 2 starts off with Ron Santo. There's Al Kaline, the World Series highlights, Boyer's Grand Slam. This is a really cool Gibson. Frank Robinson. The Series 2 is packed full of stars and Hall of Famers. Luis Tiant rookie. Clemente. McCovey. Maris. Hank Aaron. Brooks Robinson. Al Spangler. Again, that would be the number of the first Houston Astros card. Casey Stengel. Bill White. Gaylord Perry. And Series 2 ends with card 196, Ron Fairly. Series 3 starts off with card 197, Diego Segui, Joe Torre, Billy Williams. I like that Bob Tillman. Pete Rose. Willie Mays. Drysdale. Jim Wynn and Tito. Denny McLain's rookie. Dick Groat, Hoyt Wilhelm. And Series 3 ends with card 283, Fred Whitfield. Series 4 starts with card 284, Nick Wilhite. Tim McCarver, Joe Nuxhall. Koufax. Vada Penson, Mickey Lolich. Mickey Mantle. Whitey Ford. Hank Bauer. Of course, my personal favorite, Bob Gibson. Albie Pearson. Or Orlando Cepeda. Leon Wagner's a fun image. And Series 4 ends with card 370, Tommy Davis. And Series 5 starts with card 371, Frank Kreutzer. Bill Freehan, Don Larson, Kurt Simmons, Willie Stargell, Rocky Colavito, Harmon Killebrew, Felipe Alou, Carl Yastrzemski, Johnny Roseborough, Curt Flood, Louis Aparicio, and Series 5 ends with card 446, Art Mahafri. Series 6 starts with card 447, Julian Javier, Elston Howard, Yogi Berra, the player manager card, Clete Boyer. Series 6 is where you'll find the Steve Carlton rookie. Dick Allen's Gold Cup. Eddie Matthews. Ernie Banks. Bob Uecker with his left-handed pose. Series 6 ends with card 522, Hank Aguirre. The final series, Series 7, starts with card 523, Mike Brumley. And it's where you'd find the Catfish Hunter rookie. And these would be your high numbers. And the majority of these were short printed as well. Lou Brock, Red Shandings, Terry Fox, Roy Sievers, Ernie Broglio, Bud Powell, and the 1965 top set ends with card 598, Al Downing. Thank you for watching and enjoy your collection.